This video spoils Five Nights at Freddy's 2 more than your drunk uncle spoils Christmas dinner by talking about politics. So you know the drill. Don't watch this video if you haven't seen the movie yet. So my friend made this Shadow the Hedgehog meme after he saw the movie, and yeah, I agree with him. I'll be honest, I got my hopes really high for this movie, and when I do that, I kinda expect to be disappointed. Especially for this movie, because think about it. It's a video game adaptation and a sequel. Neither of those things have the best reputation, but I was very pleasantly surprised. This movie was better than the first. I'll say that. I'll say that on the internet, on record, and to be fair, that's probably not a big statement, because most people have been saying that. All my friends who went to see the movie a day before me, they all said it was better than the first one. But I can agree. When Scott and Josh Hutcherson, sorry, I'm not going to edit out the stutters because, you know, this isn't a fan film. This is just me talking to you. So, hi, this is how I talk. My name's Daniel and I have a stutter. I don't wear pants when I go to sleep. Ignore that last one. But, you know, Scott, Josh Hutcherson, they both weren't wrong. This movie was darker than the first one. It was scarier than the first one. My main problem with FNAF 1, and keep in mind, go back and watch my old review, I loved FNAF 1. But, the one thing I wished was that it was darker, was that it was scarier. Because the one thing I've always wanted about FNAF is how people kind of say, like, go back to how it was in, like, the first few games. But in the first few games still, like, most of the violence and the darkness was only implied. Movies are a more visual medium of visual storytelling, so I was thinking, this is your chance to show the darker stuff. And I'm not going to be one of those, like, cynical FNAF fans where I'm like, oh, FNAF's just for kids now, it should go back to being dark. No, I think we're in the darkest era of FNAF now because of this movie. And that gets set in by the first fucking scene. So, finally, we get to see the moment on screen that put the whole FNAF series into motion. Some people may say it's the Bite of 83, but, you know, if it was just the Bite of 83 and Afton didn't kill people, then there would just be one tragedy and there'd be no ghost, there'd be no game. So, I'll say it's Charlotte's death. Yeah, this is Charlotte, by the way. And by the way, this fan art is fucking awesome. Like, whoever drew this, fucking kudos to you. Because that is awesome. So, I wasn't kidding about this movie being dark. We get to see how William Afton actually killed Charlotte. It's off-screen because, you know, it's still PG-13 rated. Like, the FNAF movies, they still show a lot of violence off-screen. I'll be honest, in the cinema, I was just thinking over and over, show it! Show it! To basically every victim, not just Charlotte. I'm not fucking creepy like that. I don't just like seeing kids get murdered. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just like seeing people get murdered in movies. Blanketing term, okay? But, yeah, this scene was so good. So, basically, here's your final chance for spoilers. So, Charlotte's on her own, obviously, because, you know, Henry's her dad. He's not there. When's he ever? So, she sees a kid getting lured in by, you have three guesses. You got the Cat in the Hat, Jimmy Savile, or William Afton. All three viable options, but it is William Afton, who is probably the best option. And, yeah. So, she goes around, asking the adults for help, and because it's horror movie logic, apparently no one gives a fuck a child's just been abducted. So, Charlotte goes over and makes that stupid horror movie mistake to go and try and help the kid herself. And to her credit, she actually does. She saves that kid. And gets herself killed in the process. And then, one of the best, I'll say it, one of the best visuals in FNAF, and definitely the best visuals in the movie. In the movie universe. I will say this is better than the animatronic. My fucking stutters! Sorry. This is better than the animatronics dragging away William Afton while he's, I'm not going to say dying, while he's transforming into Springtrap. Because that's what's happening. And it is so good. So, Charlotte, she's been stabbed 3 times by William, and she lies dead on the show stage. And on the stage is a little trapdoor where the marionette comes out. The trapdoor lowers, she falls in, and the marionette comes up with Charlotte's body in its arms, with everyone in the pizzeria looking at what has just happened, and now kind of thinking, holy shit, because I ignored this kid, she's now dead. But still. And then the opening credits just fucking start. That's how we open the movie. That is better to me than just Foxy chasing a guard, which is still a really tense scene. I'm not going to do what I did in my last review and say tense like 150 fucking times, but that was a really good scene. That shows how fucking dangerous William Afton is, because there should be a difference between him and the other animatronics. He shouldn't feel the same as them, and he really doesn't. And that scene was so fucking good. Just seeing Charlotte's body in the marionette's arms, it's so good. And also, for everyone calling the marionette the puppet, even I called it the puppet, and I still called it the puppet when I was talking about like Left Forgotten and its character in that. Yeah, I think an official piece of FNAF media has now called it the marionette, and it's been called the marionette since FNAF World, so I guess that's its name now. So let's talk about probably the two most important characters to FNAF lore, Henry and William. Let's mainly talk about William first, because, you know, everyone on the internet, when they talk about FNAF, they talk about William. Because, you know, he's the main villain, he's arguably the main character, so everyone just talks about William, and he's the most popular character as well. So, you know, Matthew Lillard, he isn't in this movie that much, which, I fucking love Matthew Lillard. So, a little bit disappointing, but it makes sense. And I think FNAF has done what a lot of franchises can't do. Told a story without their main villain being the main villain. Batman overusing Joker. Sorry about that, just swallowed some truth. But yeah, William Afton, he appears in flashbacks and dream sequences. And probably his best scene, obviously outside of Charlotte's death, because, you know, he's in the Yellow Bunny costume, he's in the Spring Bonnie suit, so you can't really see Matthew Lillard, but he's finally wearing the purple shirt when you do so that's something. But Vanessa's basically haunted by, like, hallucinations of William, and so she does basically what Mike was doing in the last movie, going inside his dreams, or her dreams in this case, and basically confronting William. And it's some real Nightmare on Elm Street shit. Makes sense, I mean, they're both called Freddy. But yeah, it's also some of Matthew Lillard's best acting as William Afton. And Baby was in it. Circus Baby, we saw her in live action, and she looks so fucking good. I cannot wait for there to be a fucking sister location movie. But obviously, Afton's connected to the main story, but he's not the big bad. At the time that, like, the plot of this movie's happening, Afton's still kind of a rotting corpse inside of a broken room in a rabbit suit. So, the fuck's a broken room? I meant to say broken rabbit suit, and I said broken room. What the hell's wrong with it? You know what I mean. Let's talk about Henry. One thing, Scott and whoever did this casting, thank you so much for bringing back Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich in the same movie and a horror movie. You've made the Scream fans happy with this one. And Skeet Ulrich does an amazing Henry. He's only in one scene and then one little message after the credits, but in that, he feels just like Henry from the games. So basically, Henry's putting around flyers saying that, you know, Freddy is murder, which, you know, it fucking is. Because there's something going on called Fazfest, which may be a little homage to Fall Fest, but basically what happened in the last movie, Golden Freddy just knocked out Abby's absolute fucking horrible aunt. Don't know why he didn't kill her, but, you know. So basically, she went around spreading the story of Freddy's, and now interest in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has fucking exploded, and now there's a whole festival about it. And Henry, naturally, considering his business partner murdered his daughter at Freddy's, is pretty against the whole thing. So what's his plan? Pretty much turn Freddy's into a toilet wall and leave his number there. And obviously Mike finds it, he talks to him, and Henry does what he does best, exposition dump. even though it's a really fucking good scene. I sound so negative but I'm trying to make jokes and make this video entertaining. I do love this movie. It is better than the first, but let's move away from the major players of the whole FNAF story and talk about the actual main villains. Holy shit, this movie's casting is good. So let's talk about the first main villain of the movie, Michael Afton. Yeah, he's not the main hero of this story. That'd be Mike Schmidt. Whereas in the games, obviously, it's Michael Afton. And honestly, I was not expecting that this was going to be how they tackle Michael in the movie universe. In this movie, he kind of plays the Elizabeth role, in that he is fucking devoted to his father. He loves William, even though, you know, Vanessa, who, like, is taking the place of Elizabeth in this canon, kind of despises him, given that, you know, Afton freaking stabbed her. So, yeah. But I just want to say this. I've forgotten the actor's name, but the casting for Michael Afton was so good. Like, he played this, like, creepy, devoted son, like, obsessed with Freddy's. So good. He played this creepy role really creepy. He understood what he was doing. And with his only 2 scenes, he was good. So in the first scene, he kind of does what Afton does in the Silver Eyes novel. Put on, like, this friendly face as a security guard, and pretty much show these paranormal investigators, well, more like McKenna Grace and the kid from the Chucky show with a camera looking for ghosts, and just show them around. I'm just going to call it the FNAF 2 location, even though they say it's the original Freddy's. It pretty much just shows them around, and they end up letting the marionette out. And this guy has a big cheesy smile on his face, and just says, "Welcome back, Charlotte." Holy shit, I actually just naturally slipped into the Left Forgotten voice for Michael Afton. He's not actually British in this movie. The Afton family aren't British. They're American in the movie universe. They're British in the game universe, but everyone fucking knows that. Why am I talking? But, yeah. So, Michael, pretty much his goal is to continue his father's legacy. So he lets out Charlotte, aka the marionette, and then kind of fucks off for the rest of the movie. Then to do some big evil guy speech when the animatronics break into Mike's house. But let's get off Michael Afton, because he's interesting, but I think they're saving his big role for FNAF 3. Because when Springtrap's involved, whether he's a villain or not, Michael Afton is also going to be involved. So let's talk about Charlotte. Holy fucking shit, she was cool. Like, honestly, she was a really sympathetic villain, and basically her motivation is, I don't think she really gives a fuck about William Afton. She just hates parents, which, given that none of the kids' parents really gave a shit that a kid was being abducted and that she really needed an adult's help, valid crash out, I can't exactly blame her. But she pretty much has a wireless control over all the toy animatronics. Mangle was the best, by the way. Like, that scene with Mangle and Vanessa's car was so cool. And, yeah. So pretty much, that's her plan. She's mainly inside Toy Chica. That sounds so wrong. I'm sure most of the FNAF fandom would love to be inside Toy Chica. Oh my fucking god. But, oh my god. I'm trying to think of something else to say, but yeah. But yeah. Fuck! So, that's kind of Charlotte's main plan, but she also has a plan to find a new body. In that the marionette can actually possess people. And I'll show you what it looks like in a bit, because it looks fucking terrifying. And I've forgotten what I was going to say. Let's just move on. Fuck me! How much of The Conjuring did Scott watch? Yeah, this is what it looks like when the marionette possesses people. And as you can see, especially with Abby here, it is fucking terrifying. So, yeah, in case you haven't gathered it yet, the marionette can possess people, which is definitely not something it could do in the games. If it can, then that makes her jump scare take on a whole new meaning. But I'll say it, probably one of the scariest parts of the movie is when Abby was possessed. Because holy shit, I made the Conjuring joke, but it is pretty much like the Conjuring. It is fucking freaky. Like, anyone knows, possessed kids, one of the oldest tropes in horror. Been going around since The Exorcist. But this movie, fucking of all horror movies, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is the thing that gets it so right. Holy shit. Also, I think McKenna Grace's fandom is going to have several goth mummy fantasies about her being possessed. I don't want to say it, but it's just a dark truth that now the internet has to live with. Oh, something is wrong with me. But, yeah, Abby gets possessed for a bit. McKenna Grace was possessed when she, like, went in there, into the pizzeria, and pretty much found Charlotte. I keep flip-flopping between calling her Charlotte and the marionette. Like, they refer to the actual animatronic as the marionette, but the soul inside it is Charlotte, so they say Charlotte a lot more. So, pretty much for context, I've said Charlotte's motivation. Also, her and Vanessa were, like, best friends. I also find it, like, honestly really well done that both the children of both Henry and William are this movie's two main villains. And Vanessa really needs to get better at telling Mike stuff. She really does. Because Mike, at the end of the movie, when he tells Vanessa to stay away from him, I kind of get it. Given that she's been around when his little sister has almost died twice, has been possessed, and that her brother, that Mike had no idea even existed, tried to kill a lot of people. My god, thank god Left Forgotten's, like, already fully written, because there's been more drama than the season 2 finale. I'm not remaking Left Forgotten, like, any of the seasons to match the movies. No one wants me to do that. What the hell am I on about? But, so yeah, the marionette possesses people. It is absolutely terrifying. This is what I meant by FNAF 2 being a lot scarier, because I don't remember seeing anything this nightmarish in FNAF 1. So, yeah, I'm just going to end the review now. I would highly recommend this movie. Felt like a freaking Left Forgotten episode. Wow, look at me plugging my own show. Again. Watch my show. Oh. But anyway, I didn't talk about the animatronics as much because they're more just extensions of Charlotte, but the originals are here, and we do kind of get the Happiest Day ending, the movie version. Even though instead of the animatronics, like the original animatronics and the original victims looking up to Charlotte, they're kind of against her, because even though it's valid how mad Charlotte is, even Golden Freddy is looking at her like, whoa, girl, you need to chill the fuck out. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this movie. If you're a fan of FNAF, even if you're just a fan of horror, you would like this movie, because it is scarier than the first. I haven't checked the Rotten Tomatoes score. I haven't checked that has anyone gotten into a fight in the movies or broken anyone's bones yet. Remember when that happened? Remember when that happened during the first movie's premiere? When there was a lot of injuries and a lot of fights? Don't do that again. But yeah, if you get the chance, see this movie. I've been Danimation. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, because apparently saying that just makes you do it and my channel becomes more successful. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. So there's going to be more animations and more videos like this. There's not going to be any more AI presidents, at least for now, because, you know, AI becomes a pain in the fucking arse when it updates. You have to pay. And I am on a fucking budget, and my budget is non-existent. So yeah, hope you enjoy the movie when you see it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked the movie, even if you have seen it already. Probably gonna go see it again. I know I want to. So, thank you all so much for watching. Danimation out.